Hi, I'm Jules. I'm the author of Philosophy for Life and Other Dangerous Situations. I first got interested in philosophy in my early 20s. I suffered from depression and anxiety when I was a teenager, and I was helped very much by a type of therapy called cognitive behavioural therapy, which is one of the most popular forms of therapy in Western science today. And I investigated this therapy and discovered that the people who'd invented it had been directly inspired by ancient Greek philosophy. And this fascinated me, that these ideas and techniques from philosophy were now being used to help so many millions of people to overcome serious emotional disorders. So I started to research these ancient Greek philosophies, and I looked at how people are rediscovering them and using them today. So in this book, I introduce you to lots of real-life stories of people who've used Stoicism or Epicureanism or the ideas of Plato or Aristotle and other philosophers, and use them to overcome dangerous situations. We meet, for example, an American Marine who taught Stoicism in Baghdad during the Second Iraq War to thousands of soldiers to help them cope with the stresses of war. We go to a conference of the skeptics in Las Vegas, where 1,500 people gathered to discuss skeptic ideas and how they could apply them in their life. We meet a Platonic sect here in London, a rather strange sect which was founded in the 30s and is still going, has something like 20,000 members, including the actor Hugh Jackman, by the way. And it reminds me a little bit of the X-Men school. It's this slightly secret school with these people who are highly committed to Platonic philosophy and use it to try and reach the divine. We look at, what else? Plutarch and some of his ideas about using role models and how we can use them to change our lives. And we meet a former mafia gangster who came across Plutarch in a high-security prison in America. And he says he initially stole Plutarch from the prison library and then felt guilty and brought it back. But he says that reading Plutarch transformed him, and he's now become an advocate for literacy in American prisons. So this is what really fascinates me, is how individuals have used philosophy for these really severe and traumatic periods in their life to cope with the worst that life can throw them and to build better lives. And I'm also fascinated by how people can use philosophy to build communities, whether we can have working Platonic communities today or Aristotelian communities. And then finally I look at whether how ancient philosophy is now influencing modern politics. Many governments around the world are trying to measure well-being and saying that well-being should be the goal of our society. So in France they've started to measure well-being nationally, in Britain as well. I think Germany now has started to measure well-being. And when they're trying to define well-being, experts are very much, again, looking back to ancient philosophy, particularly to people like Aristotle. Aristotle, who wrote that the goal of government should be the flourishing of the citizens. So I ask whether philosophy can be used for whole societies, and I look at how governments are trying to spread the ideas of philosophy to their citizens. In fact, the President of the European Council, Herman Van Rompuy, sent a book using some of these ideas to 200 world leaders in December, urging them to make well-being the goal of public policy. So at this rather interesting period where ancient philosophy is being rediscovered and put on a firm evidence base by science, and then spread to millions of people by governments. So this book really explores that phenomenon and also gives you, the reader, techniques and ideas that hopefully you can use in your life. So what I hope for this book is that some people who read it, I hope that all readers will really enjoy it and find it interesting, and that it will give people tools and ideas that they can use as well when they're in difficult periods in their life. It's the book that I wish that I had access to when I was 18 and really looking for ideas to life's questions. So 15 years later, I've written the book that I wish I had when I was younger.